Bob Woodruff is back on U.S. soil after a trip to the region that gave him a front row look at the violence on the ground and the heroics behind the scene. Very good to see you, Bob.
You know, Chris, you can imagine this was an incredibly personal moment like this. We wanted to go back to Iraq for the first time after 3.5 years, to go up to Balad, where they saved my life. I wanted to see those doctors and those nurses that actually did this. But as we landed in Iraq, there was this huge sandstorm. So we couldn't even land. We couldn't even stay in Iraq. So we went back to Afghanistan to report on the fact there's a lot of troops and others now shifting from Iraq over to Afghanistan. What I never expected while I was there, to actually see some of those other ones. And we had this huge reunion.
This is the military hospital at Kandahar Airfield in Afghanistan. Doctors here treat dozens of people every day, and the numbers are on the rise.
What are the numbers and how is this changing?
Well, since the beginning of July, it's gotten a lot more. We're getting on average 4 to 5, maybe 6 very bad cases a day.
In hospitals throughout Afghanistan, a growing number of doctors, nurses, and medics who first served in Iraq are now serving here. What I didn't know was that 2 of them who helped save me are now here saving others. Lieutenant Mike McCarty.
Good to see you. You're one of these for that, huh?
He was one of the nurses who helped care for me and hundreds of others at Bethesda Naval Medical Center 3.5 years ago while I was in a coma.
You're in front of a camera again. That's fantastic, too.
I know, it's kind of a miracle.
It really is. Yeah.
Also, Lieutenant Colonel Warren Dorlack.
Do you have any idea how many lives you've saved?
How many our joint trauma system has saved? I don't know.
Thousands?
Thousands.
Dorlack was the chief of critical care and trauma surgery at Langstuhl, Germany. He helped stabilize me when some thought I might not survive. He wants to make sure most of the credit goes to the medics.
You probably wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for medics in the field.
Here in Afghanistan, we saw American soldiers receiving Purple Hearts and young Afghan children being treated for car accidents, gunshot wounds, and most common of all, IEDs. More doctors and nurses are needed.
That board right there, yep.
We can't be grateful enough for their service.
I'm giving hugs to them because this is personal. These are the guys that saved so many lives, including mine. It's very emotional.
So after all these years, an unexpected chance to say thank you.
You know, Chris, you can imagine this. We went into the dining hall right there on the base, and I walked in, and one of the doctors walked up to me and said, "Do you remember me?" And I said, "I got to say, I don't remember you." And I said, "But I was unconscious, so I have a perfect excuse."
But, you know, all the great work you got to do there when you went back, can you believe that you've made it back?
Well, you know, I expected to, but, you know, it's always better to come back this way than any other way. And this time I did.
Absolutely. Great to have you, my friend.
Good.